simply follow that suggestion that we made. And as that beautiful, deep, healing breath moves through every cell and atom of our being, we give ourselves over to healing and renewal and regeneration, body, mind, and spirit, to do all that we can with what we have in the place where we are, using our breath, our presence, our words, our thoughts, our actions, to increase the light, decrease confusion, increase peace, decrease fear. We know what the calling is, and so we give ourselves over to that. So we take another deep breath. We allow our thoughts to settle in the center, the core, the place of wisdom and peace within us, the place known by many names, the kingdom of heaven. That centered core place where there is silence and peace and wholeness beyond all fear, confusion, distress, beyond all uncertainty. This place within us, this core within us, the silence, the peace, the wholeness. So we reach into that place in this moment. Always living in this question, what is mine to do and be? What is my calling in this moment, where I am, with what I have, to do my part to bless the world? Breathe into that as we listen to the beautiful sounds of a little child. We have the door open this morning and we can hear the occasional bird. With the door open, we feel the breeze. With hearts open, we feel the presence. Holding in a consciousness of prayer. Our beloveds, our children and grandchildren and friends and family and community, our global family, all of life on this planet, the rivers and oceans, the soil, the minerals, the air, the four-leggeds, the two-leggeds, the winged ones, all life. In this beautiful, quiet place in our hearts, I ask you to listen to the words of the Dalai Lama. And imagine him in front of you right now with his two hands clasped in prayer. The Dalai Lama says, with my two hands joined in prayer, I appeal to you to ensure that you make the rest of your life as meaningful as possible. Do this by engaging in your spiritual practice of peace. There is nothing mysterious about this. It simply consists in nothing more than acting out of concern for others. Acting out of concern for your human family. Acting out of concern for the planet, acting out of concern for all life. And provided you undertake the practice sincerely and with persistence, little by little, step by step, you will gradually be able to reorder your habits and attitudes so that you think more of others, more of the planet, more of the children. And in doing this, you will find and you will enjoy peace and happiness. So we take another deep breath, listening to the sounds of the little child. We give thanks for all life. We give thanks for our hearts opening, our minds opening, to know what is ours to do and to be, to bless the world. And we say, so it is, and so let it be. Namaste. As we turn on the lights, we welcome our own Cynthia Swanson, who she's been a member here, I think, 8 years, and she has served 3 of those 8 years on the board of directors. She presently serves on the growth and development team, lots of activity with that team, finding our new location, and very passionate about blessing our environment. Welcome, Cynthia.
Thank you, Margaret. And the clicker.
Yes, the clicker.
Okay.
You get your own clicker.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Happy Earth Day. I'm Cynthia Swanson, a member here. And in the next few minutes, I want to tell you a little bit about my life, why I'm a crazy tree hugger and have been all my life, and also some of the work that I've done and some of the things that I've learned that are practical, that hopefully everyone in the congregation.
Is that on? Is the mic on?
No.
Okay.
Testing, testing,
I
1, 2,
think
3.
Cynthia needs
Just
to
hold
hold
it
it
close.
close.
All right, hold it close. I like to do that. And finally, I'm going to have a slide about some organizations that do this important work for us, to help us. First of all, one of my favorite songs in Unity is, and we're going to have that song for the offertory, Luther's Garden. Don't y'all love that one about Luther Alston? And it has a line in it that says, Luther was a nurseryman. And I will show this picture of me and my grandparents. These are my Swedish grandparents, Ellen and John. They immigrated to this country when they were teenagers, and John was a nurseryman. These are my mom's parents, Mary and Harry. They are 6th generation South Carolinians. They were my mom's parents, and Harry was a nurseryman. So I guess I can't help the way I am. This is my...
Point it back there at the...
I love a clicker.
There you go.
Okay.
Not at the screen.
This is my grandparents' nursery. It was also their house. They had 5 acres of azaleas and camellias. We children had the run of that place. And when I married and moved down to Myrtle Beach, I tried to duplicate it, although we only had a ½ acre. But this is my house on Great Lakes Drive. I went out, my grandfather counted his dogwood on his 5 acres. He had 289 white and 15 pink.
Wow.
So I counted my dogwood on our ½ acre, and believe it or not, we had 66 white and 1 pink. So I can't help the way I am. There's something in me that makes me want to fight to protect this environment. I've spent my whole life studying how to do this. All right, so I'm going to start with something that all of us usually start with: reduce, reuse, recycle. But I'm going to start with recycle. I'm a former teacher, so I've got to have this little poster to show you what it is. Recycle. Now, everyone, I believe, in this room recycles. But I'm going to tell you how to help other people recycle. Because in Ouray County, we have a state-of-the-art MRF, which is a multiple-use recycling facility. That thing is like twice as big as this room. They put commingled recyclables in there on a belt, and they sort themselves, and it's one of the most fascinating things in the county. I encourage everyone to go out there. They'll give you a tour. Now, I have a handout. It's blue on everybody's chair. And it would be an honor to me if you guys would take this handout home. The first item on it is the information about the SWA, Solid Waste Authority. When I moved into my apartment 8 years ago, we had 96 units. We did not have recycling. Everyone wanted recycling, but we didn't have it. So I called out there and I said, what about this? And Kendra, the lady that works there on public relations, she said, well, let me see what we can do. We made several calls, and it turns out they are happy to come and pick up recycling, and guess how much it cost? We had 96 people in our apartment building. It cost each one of us $1 per month. So if you guys have a homeowner association where you live, give them a call and see if they will come and pick it up. Now, Georgetown County is a little bit different. You have to find out something else about that. All right, second point is reduce. What can we reduce? We don't want to use as much stuff. But I'm going to tell you the most effective way to reduce is to reduce our consumption of animal products. There's a website and a movement called Meatless Mondays, and there's one statistic from that movement that has impressed me so much I couldn't believe it. Number 2 on your handout. If every American were to give up eating meat 1 day a week, it would have the same effect as taking 500,000 cars off the road permanently. Now that's something, isn't it? So I have been a vegetarian since '74, but better yet, I have a picture here of 2 life vegetarians. My daughters, Catherine and Ingrid, and one of them happens to be in the congregation today. Catherine, please wave your hand. Now, Catherine, please stand up. Look how tall and healthy she is. No meat her whole entire life, except when they used to have season tickets at Myrtle Waves. She told me, Mom, you know we ate corn dogs there. So I was telling that story in front of my mother one time. She said, don't worry, Cynthia, corn dogs don't have any meat in them. So that's my challenge to everyone. Meatless Monday at least. And maybe Monday and Friday. Who knows? All right, finally, the point that I am the most crazy about. I'm a crazy person. Reuse. There are many things that we can reuse. In 1998, I decided as a New Year's resolution to challenge myself not to buy anything new that could be bought used. Well, it was so much fun that I kept it up, and I haven't bought anything new that could be bought used since 1998.
Wow.
It allowed me to learn about antiques. It allowed me to go places I've never been, consignment stores and so forth. So I decided to make a list. I looked around my apartment and I decided to make a list of, oops, that's Ryan, of all the things that I had that were used in my home. And I have that list in a minute, I think. But one thing that I'm proud of is, this is my mom's chair. It originally had green and gold upholstery on it. And Catherine just had that chair upholstered with our great friend of many years, Ryan Smith, who is here. And he's number something on your Ryan Smith upholstery. Isn't that beautiful?
Yes, it's beautiful.
Just think, why get something new? Go to Grandma's Attic. Ryan says it's much better, that the old furniture is much better anyway than what we can buy new. All right, that's a point. I have Ryan's number on there. And his shop is up in right near here, next to the Father's house. Y'all know where it is. Okay, another thing we can do is to, as I said, I learned about antiques, and I did invite Brian Wester to come. He's got a great antique shop right down here beside Teacher's Touch. He has one whole room of furniture. It's on your handout. And I bought this when I moved into the apartment. Isn't that pretty? It's so forth, and I keep a lot of junk in there. It's really, really practical. Brian knows everything about antiques. He's so interesting. If you ever need to get a wedding gift or a baby gift or even a Christmas gift, all you have to do is go in there and say, I want to get a gift for this person and I want to spend this and they're interested in this. And he'll come up with something fascinating. He has it. For example, whenever he suggests, whenever a new baby is born, he gets he gets out a collectible coin from 100 years ago, the year the baby was born. And then it's a very nice gift, because that's only one of those they're going to get. And it can only grow in value. It's on your handout. It says Coast to Coast Antiques, what number is it? Number 4, Coast to Coast Antiques. It's beside Teacher's Touch, right here on Highway 17 Business. Oh, well, the other thing I wanted to tell before we got to this is I had a list of all the things that I had bought. 72 folding chairs for my wedding business. I bought them used, believe it or not, from eBay. My refrigerator, my dishwasher belonged to someone else in my apartment. My car is a little bit used. It can go on and on. And I want to brag on how well dressed our minister is, Margaret Hillard, and also Charlene, and they buy all of their clothes at consignment stores. I like to buy my clothes at consignment stores. I'm wearing everything consignment today, including number 6 on the list, I think. These are not new shoes, but I just got them back from the shoe repair, shoe repair, and I did invite Veet, the owner, to come. But they look like new shoes. And this place is down in Myrtle Beach. It's number 6. 5. Myrtle Beach Shoe Repair. The owner, Mr. Veet, is an immigrant from the Ukraine. And Kalina, you should go down there and talk to him. Dan wants to preach. What?
No, I work real close to there, and that guy is just one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
It's really great. He makes your old shoes look brand new. You don't need to buy brand new shoes. Right. All right, so those are my suggestions. However, what I've really come here to I came here to tell everyone that. I think you should take your furniture to Ryan. I think you should you go over to Brian Lester's and buy your gifts. And I think you should take your shoes to Myrtle Beach Shoe Repair. However, y'all, as you can see, this has been my passion in life. And I have tried everything to see why it's not always going the way I think it is. And guess what? It's not really up to us. Who makes the decisions on land use? The legislature. The South Carolina legislature. I bet very few of you in here can tell me who your representative is to the South Carolina legislature. We have a representative to the House, and we also have a senator, who most of us, it is Lou Franklin, most of you probably know that. But those are the people making the decisions. We can sit here and complain day and night, but they are making the decisions on land use in our country. So, guess what? We don't have to get in touch with them, because there are people who will bother them for us. And who will study these issues and find out what is the best way. What is the most effective way to keep our air, water, and land clean and to keep it going? So, yes, a question.
Actually, if you call the governor's office, somebody answers the phone and they actually take care of your problem.
Okay, call Governor McMaster. Okay, we tithe in our church. We give part of our tithe to an environmental organization called the Waccamaw Riverkeeper, and that is number 1 down at the bottom under conservation organizations. This is an organization that we support, and as you can see, their mission is to clean up our watershed, and that's all of our land here. The health of the lands and waters of the Greater Winyah Bay watershed. They do not work on the ocean. but they work on everything that drains into the ocean.
And
Here's-
Cynthia, when you said we support, that's one of the places that when we tithe as a church, they're one of the recipients,
Right.
Waccamaw River.
So you are giving to the Waccamaw River Keeper through your tithes to Unity. All right? Number 2, place of organization of interest, and this is a completely different slant. SCELP, South Carolina Environmental Law Project. That's the second one under your conservation organizations. My friend, Amy Armstrong, some of you might know her, in Georgetown, is probably the smartest lawyer in South Carolina. And just Thursday, I wanted her to come to the meeting, to this service, but she was arguing before the Supreme Court about some land use down in Kiowa Island, and they said she knocked it out of the ballpark. They cannot do it. They can't go up against her. She's so good. She's got all the answers. She knows everything. She's a wonderful, wonderful lawyer. And she uses our system the way it's supposed to be used. She goes through the judicial system. Now, her tagline, as you can see on your handout, is Lawyers for the Wild Side of South Carolina. So if you're the kind of person that really believes in this process, you know, this is she is a lawyer. She represents conservation organizations and private citizens. I recommend this. They have a really fun gala every year down at in Georgetown, and Carol and Tom Anderson, who go here, are sponsors of it, and they call it the Wild Side. So that's a really fun. You can look that up, and that's a really fun thing to go to. Finally, as I said, this has been my lifelong quest, and I have found Unity of Myrtle Beach, my spiritual home, and I have found Conservation Voters of South Carolina, my environmental home. It was about 20 years ago. I was at a conference. I used to be chairman of Sierra Club here, and it was in Columbia. It was at this church, and this little tiny lady stood up in front of everyone. It was so amazing to me. She said, well, we're starting a new group here. It's called Conservation Voters. And she said, her name was Ann Timberlake. She said, it's my goal that we will have a conservation legislature in South Carolina. And I heard that, and here's what I wanted to do. This is what I do. I wanted to go up to her and go, oh, that's so cute. Knowing it would never happen, guess what? It's a unity principle. She stated it, and it happened. And we have with us today, it is just the most wonderful thing, Dylan Fender. Hey, aren't my guests handsome and well dressed? Dylan, will you stand up? This young man has come to save us here in Horry County. Dylan is a Coastal Carolina graduate. He is working for us now, Conservation Voters. He's the field director for Horry and Georgetown counties. He is going to call you on the phone and get you to work for him, I bet. And we hope that he and his beautiful fiancée will come back to Unity, because he's going to be preaching to the choir here, as y'all know. Anyway, they get things done. They lobby the legislators. We have 2 lobbyists now. It's just, they're doing it. It's the answer to my prayers, really. Prayers and dreams. And I'll show you, this is one of my proudest moments. We have a green tie luncheon, too, in Columbia every fall. That's me giving an award to Senator Thomas McElveen. He won the Green Tie Award for being a green legislator last year. And it was wonderful. Catherine and Noni were there. He was dumbfounded because I found out some dirt on him from his high school teacher. He had the look of terror in his eyes as he went up to get it. Anyway, it was a great event. It's a great event every year. And you know, we don't like to go to Columbia, do we? It's so far. And some of the people from Conservation Voters are supposed to come down here. But it was too far for them to come. But we got to get over it. That's where everything's being done. Okay, that's my presentation. conservation, here's what I think we should do. We should reduce, reuse, recycle, and we should contribute to conservation organizations. You can give them $10, they're thrilled, but if you do this, if we do this, it takes the heat off of us. Somebody else's. We can pay someone else. We can hire someone else to do the work for us. All right, in closing, I just couldn't resist this, could I? My little precious grandchild, when he was first born, he lives in Austin, Texas. Y'all, those are Texas bluebonnets on that hill. Isn't that beautiful? Oh yeah, the Texans are here. Now, this Lawrence Rockefeller was a philanthropist and a member of the Rockefeller Club, third generation Rockefeller. He did a lot of conservation work. He was the first one. He did a lot of financial work. And this is a beautiful quote of his. And in closing, I think we should read this together, don't y'all? How we treat our land, how we build upon it, how we act toward our air and water, will in the long run tell what kind of people we really are. All right. Happy Earth Day.
Thank you. I feel like I learned something today. I loved hearing about the local people, and some of them here, the antique dealers, the upholsterers, the lobbyists, the conservationists. It was Cynthia, when she served on our board of directors, who brought to us the proposal of having as one of our tithe recipients the Waccamaw River Keepers.
I just want to say really quick that I just found out Publix takes styrofoam.
Okay, so Publix takes styrofoam to recycle it. That's a great thing to know. Publix takes styrofoam to recycle it. So y'all, let's all take a deep breath. Sometimes the issues of the hour seem overwhelming and as if there's not much hope in helping with some of these things. And yet, look at all the people in just one little service, all the people that were mentioned, all the ways that we can help, the things that we can do. These are simple things. You know, we don't have to go out diving in the ocean, cleaning trash up off the ocean floor. We can do simple things right where we are. So, Cynthia, thank you for all the reminders. I know you're impassioned with this, and it shows, and I appreciate it. I feel like I learned a lot today. And so many, we need a good shoe repairman. I am so happy to have that.